YouTube family. It's your boy Dwight. Welcome back to the channel. Silverback Sillage. Hope all is well with everybody. First off, do me a huge favor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I post new content. Now, with 2025 fastly coming to an end, of course I had to come to the table with my top 10 winter fragrances for 2025. And if you'd like to find out which 10 that I chose, keep it locked. Well, let's get down to business. At the number 10 spot, we're headed to the house of Banana Republic with Oud Mosaic. Now, this one here, I haven't did a singular review for this particular fragrance. It's because I can't say that it's a standalone fragrance that is worthy of its own video. But if you would like a full breakdown for it, leave it in the comments and let me know. But what you get with this offering right here, you get oud, you get rose. It's warm. It does have some funk with that oud. There's a little bit of a cardamom spice mixed with some plum in there, but the oud and the rose and the pepper is what kind of reigns supreme in this fragrance right here. Good, decent staying power for what you pay for it, but it's one of those Banana Republics that you won't see on shelves all the time in your neighborhood Burlington or Ross or any of those like cheapy stores where you can actually find different little gems in there. Last year I actually found this in 2024 around the Christmas time, and I just happened to be rummaging through the shelves a little bit and found this one. It's pretty cool, but it's at the 10th spot for a reason, because the other 9 are better. Next one. Headed to the house of Armaf with Club de Nuit Intense for Women. I know when people hear me say that, they're like, why would you put a woman fragrance in the video? But this actually smells like Tom Ford Noir with, of course, a cheaper oud accord. So you start off with the rose, you start off with the spice and patchouli and oud mixture with vanilla wrapped around everything that I just named. And then well off in the dry down, the vanilla and amber kind of take over. This is one right here that's exceptionally strong as far as cheapies are concerned. But it's a fragrance profile that I wouldn't say is mass appealing, but it's not off-putting either. And it cuts through the cold like a knife through butter. Next one. Headed to the house of Salvatore Ferragamo with Uomo. This is the quintessential tiramisu fragrance. Sweet. Kind of seductive a little bit. Ambery, vanilla. Not much citrus hints in there, even though it does have sweet notes in there. And they show within the notes like a picture of candy. It's just more of a sweet, sugary nuance with some push from some ambroxan. But that tiramisu note makes it second to none when it comes to being unique, because tiramisu is not something that you see in fragrances quite often. That's at the number 8 spot. At the number 7 spot, and fairly new to the collection, in recent videos already out there, Tiziana Terenzi Ursa. Dried fruits, strong and somewhat earthy patchouli fragrance that often is compared to Straight to Heaven from Killian, with Straight to Heaven having a little bit more of the dried fruits and the, like, I want to say, I believe tobacco might be in that one, and booze from rum. This one has rum and dried fruits as well, but the patchouli's dialed way up, which makes it a little bit more strong, a little bit more masculine when the Straight to Heaven is, of course, more unisex. Excellent winter offering. Next one. Now, this one here, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I've done a single video for this one right here, but it is single video worthy. But if you guys want to see that, make sure you leave this in the comments. And this is headed to the house of Hugo Boss with Boss Bottled Absolute. An extremely mass appealing for cold weather scent profile. Really strong. You do get some chocolatey nuances from the patchouli in this one here, but the patchouli is strong. You do get some leather, and you do get some smokiness in this fragrance right here. And this is a breath of fresh air, considering that today's designer fragrance selections tend to chase one another when it comes to trends, notes, even performance, and what they're going after. This one strayed away from what you commonly smell when you walk in Dillard's and you walk in Macy's. This one here is amazing. High rated fragrance that I probably will go ahead and end up doing a single video for, so I won't go crazy breaking it all the way down as far as what a rating is or nothing like that. But you definitely need to get your nose on this one. Either get you a sample or go into your neighborhood mall and smell this one, because it's a wintertime staple right now for me, and never a bad time to use it, especially when it's exceptionally cold. What's that? 5 in, so that would have been 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. At the number 5 spot, we're headed to the house of Killian with Smoking Hot. Black cherry hookah is what you get with this one right here. Extremely seductive, extremely sexy. A fragrance that, when you're ready for some good cuddle buddy time, would be at the top of my list of ones that I would reach for. But it's also a very, very entertaining scent profile, in the hints that you're not going to pick up another 5 or 10 fragrances that smells exactly like this one. So Killian knew what they were doing, putting that hookah note in this particular fragrance, because they knew they would make it extremely unique. And then they complemented it with a good vanilla accord, quality tobacco, quality smoke accord with the cinnamon and the apple, to have all of those notes come to contact with one another and make a masterpiece. It's a very, very nice fragrance that I plan to keep in my collection as long as they're making it. We got 6 in, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. At the number 4 spot, we're headed to the house of Le Labo with Tobacco 28, the Miami exclusive. Tobacco, rum, some sweetness, woodiness, and a very, very exotic, hard to find scent profile. It's a bit pricey, so it's not going to be a bottle that you find on every discounter that you pull up online. But if you can get a chance to get your nose on this one, you'll get a chance to see what I've been raving about when it comes to it being vacation ready, fellas night out ready, shows a masculine edge like no other to a certain extent. But it's a boozy scent profile that I always want to have in the collection, because I do like boozy scents. And this one here is a good representation of a quality booze mixed in with your tobacco and your rum. At the number 3 spot, we're headed to the house of Scents of Woods with Plum and Cognac. And what can I say about this one that I didn't say in the actual video? Well, at the end of the day, it's extremely seductive. It is grown man in a bottle, but it's not so grown man in a bottle to the point to where your lady can't wear this one here. The plum nuances in this is probably top, either number 1 in my collection or tied with Bond Number 9 New York Oud. The cognac slash brandy, I think it is, could be. I don't know if it's rum or brandy that they put in here, but to me it smells more like cognac. Hence the name of the fragrance. So you got plum, you got cognac, and you do have some sweetness along with that. And well off into the dry down, the cinnamon and the vanilla begin to kind of take over. But it's a very, very good scent profile that most boozy scents don't smell like this, because they haven't quite captured a quality plum note like this one. The number 3 spot. Second to last, at the number 2 spot, recently put on the collection, recently put on the channel, the best boozy fragrance I've ever smelled. Vanille Havane by Les Amudables. This one here, to me, smells more like cognac, even though they list, I want to say, a brandy accord in this one right here. You get some spice from like a little bit of cinnamon hiding out in the background, but it's even more dominated by that tobacco note, which is one of the most premium tobacco notes that I've smelled in a boozy fragrance. The rum is premium. The sweet cacao notes that they put into this one here gives you a very, very smooth but powdery chocolate vibe, mixing with that tobacco and that rum. It's a boozy scent that puts most boozy scents to shame. The way they put this composition together, and it's one that I always plan to have in my collection as long as they sell it. And that one, because when it's time to really get a little bit more playful but serious with the quality of the fragrance when you're going out and about, this is the one I'll be reaching for. And the number one spot that shouldn't surprise nobody, the strongest fragrance that I own, and the most how do I want to put it, statement making scent profile that I have. Blue Sapphire by Boadicea de Victorious. Fellas, if y'all haven't ordered you a sample of this one by now, I don't know what you're doing with your life. This one here, candied lemon, rose, ooh like no other. Wonderful bottle presentation. The box presentation needed a little bit of work, but I got me another Boadicea in my collection that gave me a better box presentation. But let's stick to the topic at hand. Blue Sapphire is a fragrance that commands attention. It commands a room. It will take over a gala. It will take over a fragrance event. It will take over date night if you overspray it. It can be obnoxious on a date night if you overspray it. But it's a fragrance profile that I feel every man and woman should potentially have a bottle of it in their collection. And it's a versatile scent profile to make a statement, but you have to control the amount of sprays that you use when you use this thing here, because it can engulf a room and choke everybody out if you go crazy on the trigger on this one. Now, these 10 fragrances right here will be the first 10 that I reach for this winter on into January, February, and early March when it's still freezing cold here in Kansas City. But this is the top 10 fragrances for 2025. And if you have some that you think I need to get my nose on in 2026, leave a comment in the comments and let me know. Or if you have any of these offerings, give me your rating for what you think of them. But other than that, that's my time. Peace.